Hello, everyone. Today, for the Daily Divine Wisdom, we're going to talk about epigenetics and also looking at how this really affects our body, mind, and spirit. And this is a scientific perspective looking at what can we do to improve ourselves and what are the problems which happens if we don't take care of our our mental body. And that's what we'll be discussing now.
Organisms can tolerate short-term stress. The zebra gets chased by the lion, it outruns the lion, it goes back to grazing and eating, and it goes back into balance, right? So all organisms can do that. You get cut off on the freeway, you jam on the brakes, and then you're over it, right? For most people. But when you turn on the stress response and you can't turn it off, now you're headed for disease because no organism can live in emergency mode for that extended period of time. Now, human beings, because of the size of the frontal lobe, we can turn on the stress response just by thought alone.
That's the trick.
Yeah, so now you say to that person, why are you this way? And they'll say, I am this way because of these events that have happened to me 10 years ago. What they're really saying is I had an event that's changed me biologically, and I have not been able to change since. Okay, if you can turn on the stress response just by thought alone, and those chemicals, hormones of stress are addictive, the arousal, you can become addicted to your own thoughts, and this is why it's hard to change. Well, if the long-term effects of the hormones of stress push the genetic buttons and create disease, that's a fact. And you can turn on the stress response just by thought alone, your thoughts can make you sick. If your thoughts can make you sick, is it possible that your thoughts can make you well? Is it possible then that you can upregulate the proteins for your immune system and downregulate the secretion of cortisol? And so we did a study. The amount of immunoglobulin A, which is natural flu shot for the body, went up 50% in the participants. So the body actually is believing it's living in an environment that's nurturing. All biological organisms can tolerate short-term.
Now, this is very important to understand. Like, we have a stress response. Something happened 10 years ago. It's still there in the body. It's not only there in the body, it is also there from the epigenetic perspective. And that's what we'll be also looking at again from our perspective. What can we do to improve that? Dr. Bhardwaj, would you like to talk before we work on that?
Yeah, that's something wonderful to understand, that whatever events happen in our life, they make an indelible remark, indelible impression on our psyche. And this is how we work on it. And time and again, that stress, which happened many years ago, involves us and keeps us there. And we are really worried about those things. But one thing which is very important, which is part of the wisdom, the divine wisdom, is that you are energizing a thought. And if you can put on your energy to that thought, that will start developing. And if you put off the connection to that thought, it will die down. So now this is what is in your hands. Your attention is in your hands, and you can decide about it on what you want to put your attention on. And you can put it off, whatever you want to put off. So there is only one thing in your hands, that is what is your attention. And if you give your attention to a bad thought of a previous life, previous times, the impressions which you are carrying, you can change them, because this is a changing world. Mind and body are variables, whereas your attention is constant. Please remember this. And that constant can put on and put off whatever you want to do, because it is only attention which is in your hands. All other things are happening. And once things are happening in your life, and the life is going on in a predestined manner, but you can change that. How you can change that? That you have to start planning. And state of art planning ability and its execution ability is the divine ability in you. It is the ability of your attention, of your soul, of your creative intelligence, which remains connected to its source in real time. So you can use that ability and change your things, because it is your decision whether you want to remain happy or you want to remain in that bad mood, in that stress. So I have commented. I think you will all understand how to use your attention. You can switch on and switch off this attention wherever you want. So this is the freedom which you have got, and this is what will keep you happier ever after. Thank you. Over to Rohit.
Thank you, Bhardwaj, for your wisdom, for epigenetics, and what can we do for using that. Thank you for the wisdom.